There are some pitfalls to relying solely on modern science to understand herbal medicine. Now, herbal medicine has a vast history. It dates back to ancient times. Nobody knows exactly when it emerged, but many people think it might be as old as mankind itself. Now, with the advent of pharmaceuticals and the Flexner Report of 1910, herbal medicine fell out of favor in the West. But recently, it has experienced a resurge. And this rise in popularity is due to improvements in herbal analysis, standardization, quality control, and advances in clinical research. Now, unfortunately, as I mentioned, the scientific method of assessing plants doesn't always provide the full picture of what medicinal properties they possess. Across the globe, there are shamans and traditional healers who do have a missing piece to the understanding of their complete power. And this is based on their connection to nature and their ability to tap into a divine essence that ignites one's innate healing potential. In fact, shamans aim to bridge the internal world of the patient to the external world, where the disease originates. Shamanic practices use various techniques in order to create a modification of consciousness to accomplish this. Many shamans are actually medicine people, and they are gone to be called on in times of disease by their people, and hopefully to help heal them and cure them of the dis-ease. Now, science hasn't fully discovered the mechanism of how traditional healing creates transformation in people, but it's now being linked to psychoneuroimmunological changes. And this understanding is in some part due to the fact that there's been a rise in popularity in psychedelics. Specifically, researchers have been studying several of the plant compounds found in hallucinogens due to their positive mental health results in clinical trials. Now, there seems to be a merging of science with traditional healing. And deep within the Jamaican Cockpit County and the parish of Trenolani, there lies such ancient and exquisite knowledge of herbal medicines, and it's used by the Maroons people. Throughout the years, they have succeeded in keeping their native language and medicine customs from Africa alive as they combine them with their Jamaican Arawak traditions. Today, the Maroons maintain their independence and identity after a 14-year-old struggle with the British colonizers. They are known as the Maroon Federation, and the Maroon Territory is considered a sovereign nation within this tiny island of Jamaica. According to Dr. Eugene Zampieron, one of their strongest tenets is the healing power of nature and their deep knowledge of the myriad Jamaican herbs that they use. What a shame it would be if their knowledge was never tapped. We would not be able to understand the complete therapeutic power of plants from more than just a clinical or sterile, isolated, mechanistic perspective. Thankfully, we can explore this ancient wisdom and how the healing properties of medicinal plants from the tropics merge with modern medicine. In fact, we do just that in the latest episode of the Essential Oil Revolution. We merge healing from ancient traditions with modern medicine. Specifically, we glance into the world of shamanic and traditional healers with a world-renowned licensed naturopathic medicine physician, a registered professional medical herbalist, an ethnobotanical researcher, a botanical formulations inventor, an educator, an international lecturer, an author, a spokesman, and a beloved radio personality. And it's all one person, I promise. His name is Dr. Eugene Zampieron, and he's known as Dr. Z by his audience and by his students. And in this episode, he takes us on a journey through the world of the healing plants and herbs of the Caribbean. He shares what he has learned from his clinical experience using botanicals and tells us captivating stories from his faraway travelers with his work with the shamans. What is perhaps the most endearing and impressive thing about Dr. Z that you'll notice when you listen to the episode is that his genius matches his big heart. He has a passionate desire to spread this knowledge for the betterment of mankind and for the planet. As a result, this interview He continues his mission of providing evidence of the power of natural healing on an individual and an international level. So I hope that you'll give yourself the gift of hearing and experience the real life tales told by Dr. Z. We start off discussing his journey into ethnobotany and how that led him into merging it with natural medicine to where he's actually teaching people and taking them on journeys to Jamaica. He talks about ethnobotany and exactly what it is and how it helps sustain traditional people's culture and plant wisdom. We talk about the communication with plants and how people actually have this ability to communicate and to understand plants through this symbolism called doctrine of signatures, also through an innate intelligence and just through trial and error. And also the importance of cultures who understood this, acknowledging it and using this wisdom, making sure that that wisdom isn't lost. And that's exactly what Dr. Z is doing when he educates us about what he's learned with the shamans of the Maroons in Jamaica. And then we highlight some of Dr. Z's favorite medicinal plants and essential oils of Jamaica. These include allspice, bitter melon, Jamaican dogwood, ginger oil and herb, rosemary oil and herb, as well as linden vitae, which is the national tree of Jamaica. And then we talk about the validation of ancient healing that's occurring. Probably one of the most popular things that we're coming back into fruition as we talk about biohacking and all of these cool trends is what was known in naturopathic history as hydrotherapy, which is the application of cold and hot water. And now all the rage with sauna and cold immersion, it's coming back full circle. And finally, we talk about the importance of sustainability and why it's so important to have reverence for these plants, as well as to find ones that are actually not in danger, or to find companies that are using sustainable practices. Well, and to find companies that are using sustainable practices. For example, Boswellia, that genius that is known as frankincense, is in danger because of its popularity of potentially being endangered. But the jumbo limbo tree in Jamaica is plentiful, and it is the same botanical family and can be used for many of the same issues. So all of this and more we go over in this episode of the Essential Oil Revolution. There is so much magic and mystery yet to be discovered in what surrounds us in nature. And this overview is just a taste, or if you're an essential oil lover, a sniff of what we explore in this episode. I know you won't want to miss the full interview, so please tune in. You will gain a new appreciation for the sacred healing power of plants, the beauty of our planet, and our own inner nature. Please support the show when you are done listening by subscribing or providing a rating and feedback on your favorite podcast player. This gets the word out, and it helps us on our mission to educate everyone on how to use naturopathic medicine, functional medicine, and clinical aromatherapy to better their lives and empower their health. And the more that we get feedback and the more that we get subscribers, the more we attract amazing guests like Dr. Z. So thank you for listening and for your time. I will be back. And in the meantime, remember to take really good care of yourself because you are all so worth it.